Hello everybody, I'm ShadowZel, and you will never guess what I'm playing today. It's the game on your screen, called Baldur's Gate 3. You've probably heard of it. I've played a bit of it, mostly on Explorer mode, because I suck at it. So I'll probably try Balanced. I like Explorer mode, because I'm not good at the game, and I'm not good at multi-classing, so you can't multi-class in Balanced. Or you can't multi-class in Explorer, but it's a lot easier. And I've only really gotten through Act 1. I've gotten partway through Act 2, but I ruined the romance with Carlatch, so I didn't get further than that. Alright, so the reason I'm recording this recording anything after so long, and why I am playing BG3 specifically, and why I let that cutscene show all the way through, there's 3 reasons for this stuff, is that I decided I kind of wanted to do a series where I'm just playing the game for friends, because they don't really have a PC and can't play it. I thought that'd be kind of fun. So I want to do a Shadowheart run, just so I can romance Zelda Shadowheart, and no other reason. So, yeah. As you can see, you can play as some of the main characters. You have Asterion, Lae'zel, Gale, Will, and Carlatch, and the Dark Urge is another custom character that has its own origin, which I might do next. I actually want to complete a run with a regular background, or somewhat regular background. I might do a regular custom character and then a Dark Urge next. But I want to do a few runs, or maybe just the one run, and then I kind of want to see if this video works out. I might make more videos with the same kind of premise, just doing like air quote long play, because I'm pretty sure long play is supposed to like the entire game in one setting, but just kind of like a live stream style content with me being very unentertaining. And then for anyone who hasn't played D&D, so you have your race, which adds a couple of stats and some basic racial features, like she can move 30 foot per turn, because this is a turn-based game. She has some weapon proficiencies, which I don't know enough about the magic items in this game to know whether this is worth much as a half health, but they can be useful if you want a fun build. Dark vision, meaning she can see in the dark, and I don't use torches in this game because I think I've always played a dark vision character. And then she has Fey Ancestry, which gives her advantage on saving throws against being charmed, and she can't be put to sleep. Very situational, but you know that's how it is. And then her sub-race gives her a new cantrip, and cantrips are just spells you can cast whenever. They don't cost spell slots, which is the resources most casters use to limit how many spells they can use a day, outside of weaker cantrips. And then you can choose which cantrip you want, but I like Firebolt because I am lazy. And I do not strategize much, so this will be a very, probably a weird ass playthrough because I kinda fucking suck at actual strategy. So, We can choose a cantrips here. Her other 3 cantrips can be anything from Thaumaturgy. Fuck. You know, I'm a writer. I should know how to pronounce words, but I don't. Thaumaturgy? Which is just good for... You know, this can be... I really like her cantrips because you can use these during the checks and like add the bonuses as you're doing the checks, which makes this kind of useful. Same with guidance. So you could give her a 1d4 bonus to any ability check and then also do Thaumaturgy, which is also a cantrip, so you can use it whenever, and it'll give you an advantage on those 2 types of checks, which means you roll a dice twice, take the higher number. Produce flame. There's a lot of cantrips that are just kind of Swiss Army knife stuff, and I've always been kind of weird. I like to get like damaging stuff. But Blade Ward could be good just for the half damage, because I will probably suck. Make a target more resistant to spell effects and conditions, or receives a plus 1d4 bonus to saving throws. Again, something that can be used in the bonuses, I think. Now I might stick with these 3, because I think these are probably the more... Because you have Sacred Flame, which is just a damage cantrip. Same as her Fire, except this does radiant damage instead of fire damage. Which is important, because different monsters have different immunities and resistances. This will give us a 1d4 to any ability check, which means we can get 1 through 4 extra to an ability check. The d4 just means how many sides the die has, and then the number before it means how many dice you use. And this is the same thing as guidance, just for saving throws. And we can get more cantrips later on as we level up. The only thing about Baldur's Gate 3 is it has a maximum level of 15, which means you don't get all the cool stuff. And then her subclass, which you can't change until you get another character we'll find later on, which I'll make sure to do, because I've done most of the stuff in Act 1, and I'll probably do a pretty full exploration of it in this playthrough. But we'll find him, and then there's a character that'll let you respec, and that's the only way to really do much with the background characters without, leveling them up and such. So she gets Blessing of the Trickster as an action, because she worships, as I forget her name, okay, it'll be brought up later, but she worships the god of the Trickery Domain. That's why she has the Trickery Domain, but we can change it. So she can grant a creature advantage on stealth checks, but only one at a time. And then she gets these 2 spells for free, and they're always prepared. So clerics, most mages, or most spellcasters have to prepare spells. Clerics are no different. The only difference is clerics can prepare any spell on the spell list, whereas mages have to get it from a spell book. I think sorcerers and warlocks are both memorized spells, so they don't prepare spells, they just know a certain amount. And this is kind of how the trickery how domain spells work for clerics, is they know these like all the time. They always have them prepared. So we have Charm Person, which gives us advantage on charisma checks in dialogue. And then we have Disguise Self, which lets you turn into a different appearance, basically. There's a few set ones in this game. They're like default appearances for different races, which can be useful when sneaking, but I normally don't stealth or do very many criminal activities. But since we're romancing ShadowZel, we're going to be kind of an asshole to people, because she likes it when you're assholes to people sometimes. It's great. Hopefully you cannot hear me drinking my water or my air conditioner in the background, as I'm sitting right next to it. So your background really just is for role-playing purposes, and it gives you 2 skills. In the actual game for 5e, which this is based off of, you get a free feat that's based on like your background, but it doesn't really do much. It's stuff like you can get free lodging in areas because you're a farmer and stuff like that. And then our stats, which I'm not good at applying them, so I'll probably keep these as the base. So your race lets you assign, it gives you bonuses to different stats. I think the new version of D&D is going to have it to where your race doesn't, you can basically choose any 2 stats with any race, basically. And then, but in 5e, regular 5e, base 5e, it gives you specific stats, except for humans. So like I think half elves would be like charisma and dexterity, or they were like I think half elves actually were like a +2 to one stat and +1 to another. But other races like half orcs are like a +2 to strength and +1 to constitution, and you can't change them. But in Baldur's Gate 3, you can choose whichever two you want. I think. I might be wrong, and they can change your skill proficiencies. But I don't really know enough about how skill proficiencies factor into Baldur's Gate 3. So what this does, for people who haven't played, skill proficiencies, this proficiency bonus will go up every few levels, and you get this bonus added on to any skills you're proficient in. So you'll roll a 1d20, add this proficiency bonus to them. And that proficiency bonus also stacks with your ability points, and for every 2 ability points above 10, you get a +1 bonus to whatever check is using the stat. For example, Wisdom, I will have a plus, a +5 to saving throws, +3 from Wisdom, +2 to proficiency, and that also adds to my Wisdom checks and my proficient. Yeah, so I'll have a +5 to Wisdom checks and saving throws, and then I'll have a +2. And then up here I'll have a +1. I think she's supposed to kind of spec into being a bit of a melee attacker. She's not really a healer as much. I'm hoping my cat doesn't step on stuff. So that's what that is. And then prepared spells. Clerics can just prepare whatever spells they want from their list. And I like having Cure Wounds over Healing Word sometimes. It's melee. You have to be closer, but I think it heals more than Healing Word. Yeah. So Healing Word is a ranged heal spell, but it does less. Healing Wounds, if you're in melee range, you can heal them more. She also has Shield of Faith by default, which the armor class is what someone has to roll above to hit you with an attack. And then Guiding Bolt. I like this one because it gives whoever attacks someone again. Whoever got hit by Guiding Bolt, the next person to attack that gets advantage. Yeah, I'm not good at this. I'm not good at this talking thing. But I do like her spells for the most part. I just forget to use Shield of Faith because it's a level 1 spell, and I'm like, do I need that extra 2 AC versus beating the shit out of someone? You can tell I'm not good at any kind of strategy because I just like killing shit. I don't like defending, I just like killing shit. And she can also do stuff like protection from evil and good, which means you can choose. Hold on. What is the button? Alright, T, I think. Yeah, T to inspect. We can actually look at it more. The target can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed by them, and when these creatures attack it, they have disadvantage. So you can choose, I think, either all of these or just one of these, and they'll have this effect too, which you'll see more in actual gameplay. And I'm pretty sure most people watching this have already played plenty of 5e and Baldur's Gate 3, or either or, and already know everything I'm talking about. But for new people, I'm not doing a very good job of explaining it, so this has probably been a lot of hot air that hasn't been worth much. But I try. So the proficiencies are what you can use. So I can have simple weapons and a specific other. So there's simple weapons and martial weapons. And so Morningstar, spears, pikes, halberds, and glaives are different types of martial weapons. So she can wield those, but not any other kind of martial weapon. But she can wield any simple weapon, which are typically weaker than martial and have less stuff going on for them. And then she can have light armor or medium armor or shields, which means she can equip these without penalty and can cast spells on them because 5e doesn't have spell failure. And then those are skill proficiencies. And then you have your Guardian, which I've completely forgot about the Guardian. I haven't played this in a hot minute. I'm gonna see which one has the best default look because I don't feel like spending a very long time. You know what? Since we're gonna romance ShadowZel, let's go with the Githyanki. And now let the cutscene play. While I drink a little bit more water. Wawa, as the kids are calling it, I think. Yeah, I hate saying that as much as you hate hearing it, but an unbidden thought came to my mind, so I acted upon it. I didn't realize the Wilhelm scream was in this cutscene. Or maybe that wasn't the Wilhelm scream. I don't know. It sounded like it to me. That's right, the Githyanki ride dragons. Cool as shit. And yes, it is a giant flying snail, capable of interstellar and interplanet travel. Why do you ask? The mind flayers, those squid-like things, because they're called mind flayers, you'll learn more about it later. They're fucking weird, because they technically exist in the Underdark, but they also do shit like this. And they're at war with the Githyanki, which is what this is all about. And yes, their shit is a living being that they can fuck around with. It's wild. Also, that's ShadowZel, which I already pointed out, but I can't remember if I mentioned this, but the reason why I won't go with ShadowZel, as I interrupt this cutscene, is there's a whole enemies to lovers situation going on there. Because Shadowheart and ShadowZel are at each other's throats with the first act. Slight spoilers. It's pretty fun if you're using a customizable character, because there's a lot that happens there. But I'm also super into this shit. I have problems. Also, this intro goes pretty fucking hard. And I mean the tutorial as well, up until you finish this first segment. I really like it. You're fighting inside of a nautiloid in hell, and it's great. Yes, this is hell. Avernus is what it's called, I think. Is the D&D name for it, but it's hell. They're demons. They try to kill your ass. There's actually a demon that if you can kill it, you can get a really flaming sword early on. It's pretty cool. But I've killed it on Explorer mode, or I forgot what it was called. I have not killed it on balanced mode, and it's really fucking hard to kill. Because once you kill it, the mind flayer that's on your side for a little bit tries to kill you.
Mind reels, stomach churns, legs struggle to find their footing. Fire and chaos assail every sense. You shut your eyes. In the dark, Lady Shah can guide you. The mission, the artifact. Many were sent to retrieve it, and now only you remain. You must survive and bring it to Baldur's Gate. To the Mother Superior.
Retrieve the artifact.
Such an insignificant seeming item. You know nothing of its purpose, only that you must protect it with your life.
You know what I just realized? I have my own volume down really, really, really fucking low. So I have no idea how well you can hear my voice over this. But I'm going to be lazy and not fix it and just make this a little bit of a shorter video and then I'll find out. This might be uploaded with some really shitty audio. On my end at least, but I think the game audio itself is really good. I really like that there's a lot of... I really like the narrator in this, and I really like that this is a much more cinematic game than the other ones. And you can interact with a lot of shit. And then you have Shadowheart's voice. I really like Shadowheart's voice. Well, what happens if we interact with this nursery?
This is the pool that thing came from. The parasite now writhing behind your eye.
And again, the narrator is really fucking good. And now this is a skill check. You see how it says investigation? This is a skill check for people that haven't played Baldur's Gate 3 or D&D. We can roll. See? Skill check. Some dialogue options require a skill check, a dice roll that must meet or exceed a target number. Your character skills add a bonus to this roll. And then since we have spells, we can add guidance, and it's a cantrip so we can use it whenever. We can get a 1 through 4. Plus, I have some DLC that gives me a cooler die. And we fucked it. Now I'm going to go with, I'm going to try until I get a game over to actually go with my rolls.
Notice nothing more than meets the eye.
And not save scum. So there's nothing weird about this. Let's just reach towards it. Yeah, that's what happens. And then some spells need what's called a concentration, which just means if you take damage while using it, or some other stuff, you'll stop using the spell. And then this guy has a pearl on him, so
Hopefully most of its friends are in the same condition.
people really hate mind flayers, and for good reason. They're one of the big bads of the Forgotten Realms, and this, as I talk over Shadowheart, that's a sphincter. This thing has a lot of sphincters. Sphincter, and then there's a dead goblin. There's a illithid record.
Goblins, their habits and histories flash into your mind.
Fun thing is, we can steal these. We can also steal this brain jar if we want to. Oh, we can attack it, never mind. I thought we could steal it. We can steal this rune slate. Which I'll do just be an asshole. We can steal this rune slate. Just be an asshole. We'll steal this rune slate. Just be an asshole. It's fun being an asshole at times. Now there's one fun thing we can find. Doodle 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 doo. Yeah, there's this guy got Mirnath and he's asking for our help. Nothing suspicious about this at all. He's not dead, don't worry about it. Yet. See, he's twitching. He's still alive. His brain's pulsating a little.
You've come to save us from this place. From this place you'll free us.
The exposed brain quivers in expectation.
Please. Before they return. They return. Remove us from this body. From this case. Free us.
Alright, I forgot to read that option aloud. Let's see, shall we investigate, break it, or gently prise it from the skull? Let's investigate it. Inspect the exposed brain. Let's add guidance. And that was just enough to succeed. Pretty animations.
You notice edema, a swelling of the brain causing pressure where it strains against the shell of the skull.
Was that helpful? Perhaps not, but that does unlock a medicine check. But who am I talking to, a man or a brain?
Born new from this husk.
You realize you're talking to an intellect devourer, a minion of the mind flayers who abducted you.
Yes, you also have sometimes, they'll have automatic skill checks in the background that let you realize stuff, like the perception check and that arcana check. And since we hate mind flayers, we'll destroy the brain. In another playthrough, you might find out what happens if we don't destroy the brain, but yeah, it's a little brutal. But it had to be done. What does he have on him? Nothing. Cunty ass. Lobotomized elf, though, as the kids say. I'm only 24. I shouldn't be saying as the kids say. I am a kid. Although I'm not a huge fan of slang nowadays. I'll probably make this episode just the Nautiloid intro, just so I can double check the audio levels and do some tweaking with the settings. I probably could have done that and just done a cut right after I did the intro, but you know what? This way's better. I said it better, so it'll be better.
This is your end.
And this is our waifu for this run.
Your head throbs and your skin tingles. Visions rush past. A dragon's wing, a silver sword, and a flash of your face seen through the strange woman's eyes. My head. What is this? Skvar. You are no thrall. Vlaakith blesses me this day. Together, we might survive. The artifact. You and others were to seize it from the Githyanki. She may prove to be a foe, but for now offers aid.
I also just realized that I have to turn off a setting after this intro before I do much. Because there's nudity in this game if you don't turn it off. And I just leave it on, and then I just realized I'm going to be posting this on YouTube, so I have to turn it off. Because I don't think there's any nudity outside of doing it to yourself. And scenes later, romance scenes later on in the game. So, yeah, we'll see how that works out. So, who are you?
Who am I? Your only chance of survival.
Because she is very helpful. Alright, what made you think I was a thrall?
Mind flayer parasites. Unless we escape, unless we are cleansed, our bodies and minds will be tainted and twisted. Within days, we will be Geich, mind flayers.
Returning into mind players, there must be something we can do.
We can do nothing until we escape. That must be our priority.
She makes a good point.
First, we exterminate the imps. Then we find the helm and take control of the ship. We will address the matter of a cure for this infection once we reach the material plane.
It's a shame these starting armors aren't better, because I'd like to use them throughout like most of the game if I could. Alright, combat happens in rounds, and each participant gets a turn to act. The game pauses around you during combat, so you have time to plan your actions. They really did a good job at making this work better than the older Baldur's Gate 3, because older Baldur's Gate 3 was like more like an RTS, where you could pause the game and you could set up auto-pausing, but it was still a bit fucky. I played a bit of it, and I could never get very good at it. So we do have options. We have jump, which means we can jump to places. It's more useful for getting to places and moving around in combat. We can hide. Can't doesn't really work if he'll see you, but this is good. Rogues can hide like in plain sight, more or less, and they can get like stealth attacks off that way. You can throw stuff, which is mostly good for throwing like alchemical fire in combat. We can dash to double our movement speed, but that costs an action. So all these are these are actions. You get one action per turn. You also get a bonus action per turn. So jump would be a bonus action, and it also costs a certain amount of movement speed. So you can move, action, and bonus action. And you can move up to your movement speed, which for most of the characters is 30 feet. As you can see, this is 40 feet, we can't go there. 21 feet, we can. If we move past an enemy without disengaging, they can automatically attack us, which is what attack of opportunity is. And then we have disengage, which is how you don't get attack of opportunity. And then you get dip, which you can. I think that's if you have like poison, you can dip your weapon in it and get the poison effects and your regular attack damage. Shove is the most brutal action in this game as a bonus action, because you can pretty much one-shot anything with it as long as you're near a deep pit. It's fucking great. I haven't done it before, but it's great. We can also get an improvised melee weapon, which is just a worse version of our weapons if we don't have any weapons. We can help someone up that is downed, or help them with any status effects as an action. Down is when you get to 0 HP, but you have not been killed yet. And then she has a few special attacks, which are based off of her weapons. Because she has a bow, which has hamstring shot, which just shoots an enemy and reduces their movement for a couple turns, if they fail a save. Then her melee weapon has pommel strike, which is a bonus action that can daze an enemy. And these can both be used once per short rest, which means I'll explain short rest when we get there. So all these other extra abilities are once per short rest. And then she has Lacerate, which can make someone bleed. She has Rush Attack, which lets you move up to 30 feet and then attack someone. Then she has a regular main hand attack, a regular range attack, and she has some cantrips she can use. Like Astral Knowledge, which gains a proficiency in all skills of a chosen ability. Like Intelligence, Charisma. And she has Mage Hand, which I don't know what Mage Hand does in this game. I've never used it. So we'll use this. And then that percentage next to the attack shows you how much of a chance it has of hitting. And then it has a chance of pushing them off balance, which they succeeded their saving throw not be pushed off balance. Then we'll pommel strike them for the kill. You can also loot in the middle of combat for free. Steal their hand axes. Oh wait, he's not dead, he's just dazed. Whoops. And, so you can kind of, this is our turn order. When multiple allies are next to each other, you can activate them in whatever order you wish.
What should I do?
Which is pretty nifty. I think... Yeah, I think they might be more weak to... No, I think we just need to use Firebolt. They do the same amount of damage, I just can't remember if imps are weak or resistant to these. And I got a critical hit and burn them alive. Kind of ironic, I guess,
See what we have here.
as they are in Avernus. And then, since this is a bonus action, I could shield or heal, but we don't really need to do that because these are kind of mooks. And then we have to intern on both of them, and that's the end of their turn. I'm probably explaining too much without actually saying a lot, so I hope you can put up with it. And now we have one. And we get a scimitar. And we're going to finish this guy off because we're assholes. Remember that. We're assholes this run.
What might you be hiding?
Well, somewhat assholes. Then there's some dead guys with some gold. And yes, you can buy and sell stuff in this game. It's revolutionary. Never since Fallout 1 on the PC have you been able to buy and sell stuff. Which is somewhat of an inside joke thing, because my dad, when we first got Fallout 3, he played a lot of Fallout 1 and 2 on the PC. We got Fallout 3.
Test how much punishment this ship can take.
Sorry, I probably shouldn't have talked over that. But we had 3, and he was curious, or it was either 3 or New Vegas. I think it was New Vegas, actually. But we got New Vegas, and he was stealing everything in Doc Mitchell's house, I think. Because he remembered in the old games they could buy and sell, and he was kind of concerned he wouldn't be able to buy or sell in that game. That's that story. Have fun with that story, that has nothing to do with this game. I don't have many stories like that. But I do have that one. But yeah, so you can also use actions to use items. You can use actions to use spells, bonus actions. Luckily the game shows you what you can and can't use as bonus actions and actions. You can switch between weapons pretty much at will. And you can dual wield items if you have the right, you know, stats and stuff. And then, so the camp and resting menu, you can short rest twice a day, which will reset any short rest abilities, or any abilities you've used that require a short rest to use again, they will reset on a short rest, and it'll heal you a bit, 50% of your hit points. And then there's a long rest, which will end the day, will fully regain your hit points, spell slots, and any ability that requires a short or long rest to use. So, that's what resting is. You don't want a long rest too often, but also not too little, because there are events that are day by day based.
Cave machinery. I can make no sense of it.
So,
Well, this isn't enlightening. What's this gibberish? Means nothing to me.
alright, so I know one of these buttons kills them.
My own fault for pulling straight.
Damn, I was hoping I was going to kill them. Oh well. That says a lot more about me than it does you, Shadowheart. But if you do succeed in those Arcana checks, you do learn what each sigil says. So you know more about what to do here. And in games where you aren't playing Shadowheart, that pod has Shadowheart in it. And you have to rescue her. Which we will hopefully see later. At some point. He has a mug on him. It doesn't do anything, you can just sell it. Or decorate camp with it, which I have yet to figure out how people decorate camp with paintings, but I do want to do it at some point. Bonk him on the head. For 1 damage, oh well. He's dazed. I thought dazed did more than that. Poor showing by Shadowheart. But she's not really the main damage dealer here.
Not now. We must go to the helm.
Hard not to ask questions. Why the hell? I didn't mean to click on her.
Control over the ship. Or do you wish to die here?
But I might as well since I'm here. You can talk to your companions a lot in this game, and romance them. Like I said, we were romancing ShadowZel.
Let's see what we have here.
Another pod, just like yours. How many more of these can there be?
Hint. There's also a key over here we can get to open up this chest, which I might do. We can also steal this. We can steal this Illithid manuscript.
Appear in your mind. A brain, a Githyanki warrior, and centuries of darkness.
But normally you go up here to rescue Shadowheart. For anyone curious. And no, as far as I know, there's no time limit. So there's the key. And up here is where you get the other thing. But we don't want it, and we don't want to push this button. Actually, I'll show you what happens.
Dazed woman is trapped inside the pod. She doesn't notice you.
I'll show you what happens when we push this button. Just as a example of what happens when you push random ass buttons in games. Place your hand on the console.
Hand on the pod, you hear something. A presence connected to the pod, commanding the person inside to change.
So, bad news.
Kinchar, changed at the pull of a lever. How? If we are not purified, this may be our fate.
That. We only have a few days for that happens to us, but that's potions. So you can also use potions in the middle of battle as a bonus action to heal. Which I forget to do sometimes. Which probably seems like obvious stuff to like everyone watching this game who's played video games in general. But you can also use scrolls as actions, bonus actions and such. Alright, but we just came here to get this treasure. And yeah, you can kind of zoom around. Do stuff like that. Fun, really random ass fact. You have a little key ring, a keychain, that you can open up and it'll have all your keys in it. It's a very useless fact, but it's one I know. And I really like the way storage kind of works in this game like that. A little aquarium, a little healing, another sphincter.
We are nearing the helm. Once inside, do as I say.
You can also burn yourself in fire if that wasn't obvious enough. You can. I need to stop explaining everything. Just do it. You see that guy, you can get his sword. But he's a bitch to kill. Also, I tend to replace that sword pretty quickly once I get some other magic items.
Connect the nerves of the transponder. We must escape. Now.
Do it. We will deal with the Geich after we escape.
Now the best strategy here is to run like a motherfucker as much as you can. But you do also kind of want to kill shit or else they'll try to kill you. So concussive smash. Hold on, what does concussive smash do? Possibly daze your target. They can't take reactions and lose their the dexterity bonus to their armor class. Which, if they're using any, so medium and light armor, give you a dex bonus to your AC, which is your armor class. But heavy armor doesn't. Medium armor gives you less of a max dex bonus too. Typically. And let's go ahead and use this on ourselves. Since we're going to have a long rest soon anyways, I think. Or at least I think the segment after this counts towards long rest. I don't know, I haven't tested it. You can also click further than you can go just to make sure you use up all your movement.
Got to focus.
I'm fury.
I did not realize you could unend a turn like that. But yeah, we have 15 turns to get there. And these guys are fighting. If the Mind Flayer wins, which normally they kind of get locked in combat for a long time unless one side gets really lucky. If the Mind Flayer wins, he tries to kill you. Fun fact.
Have to keep going.
Oh, and we didn't take attack of opportunity because he was dazed. That's good.
Victory awaits. Taking position.
What did you? I said go over there. Why'd you? I clicked over. Why'd you do? What was that for, ShadowZel? What? Alright, we might as well do that. I mean, I guess that's all we can do because you went over there. I could have sworn I clicked up here to make you go over there, but oh well. I'm not salty. I get a little annoyed when games don't do what I tell them to do, but I'm not gonna complain too much. I mean, I'm gonna complain a lot, but
On my way.
it's because I'm an asshole.
Swift and lethal.
But the good thing is, ShadowZel
Taking position.
has a bow, so she can switch to that and do bow attacks. Shadowheart doesn't have proficiency with any ranged weapons I can remember, other than like a throwing dagger. So that's one thing I kind of dislike about trying to use her a lot of times, because she is a lot more limited than you might expect. Although I guess I'm just a martial man because she is a spellcaster. You're supposed to use her spells, not her being the shit out shit. But at the same time, I like beating the shit out of shit. Like I said, I'm not good at strategy in this game, so. I do what I do. Ah, I forgot this guy has a gem on him. The gems are different every game. They're kind of randomly generated. So we're just trying to get closer while still attacking and making sure that we have some room to move. Because we want to get here and activate that. And yeah, there's literally zero reason to actually kill anything here. Especially once we were able to reach that. As long as we're able to reach that transponder, there's no reason to kill everything. But I want to. I don't even know if we get experience for this. Oh, we do get experience for it, so there is a reason. Anyways, as you can see, killing this guy is, well... Oh man, now I'm tempted! Because Lyzel, or Shadowheart's there, I could probably just go ahead and take Lyzel over here and try to kill him. I mean, there's nothing wrong with trying to kill him. I mean, she can just grab the weapon, right? She's the one that's using the weapon, so she'll grab the weapon, and then I'll get that weapon back after the segment, right? I mean, we have 10 turns. There's no more reinforcements coming. Oh, right, there's these guys coming. I forgot about these guys. But if Lyzel gets knocked out, we can end the encounter. You see, I have this all planned out. I've done this before. I haven't succeeded in this before, one way or the other. But I've done this before. I'm 100% smart about this, and I can't say otherwise. But now I'm remembering why I don't do this. Because outside of waiting for the Mind Flayer to kill the guy, you can't do much against this guy. And if the Mind Flayer fails at killing him fast enough, the Mind Flayer dies. I don't think the Mind Flayer drops anything. So it is in very many ways not worth it, outside of like Explorer mode. Explorer mode makes it significantly easier to do. All I'm saying.
I am death.
Hey, I hit him! Your attack was resisted? Yeah, because Cambions are resistant to most melee. I think this, the longsword she's using uses slashing damage. Yeah, there it is. 1d10 plus 3 slashing. It's a versatile weapon, which means if you use it in one hand, you get 1d8 damage. If you use it in both hands, you get 1d10 damage. Fun facts.
Talk to me.
So she can also wield that with a shield, but since she's more of a damage dealer, she doesn't. Oh, he's attacking Lyzel. You know, that's kind of an asshole move. I need Lyzel to survive long enough to kill this guy. Alright, I think this is going to go to shit, so I'm just going to activate the transponder. Because if Lyzel dies, I can't grab the sword anyways.
Transponder. You made it in time.
Dragon? I think that's an adult. They're different sizes based on their age. And I don't think that's ancient. I think that's more large than gargantuan. So. That's space. Yeah, so the Githyanki are actually like a spacefaring species as wild. There's an entire setting of D&D that's space-based, and it's really cool. I mean, I don't know much about it, just the concept and some other stuff, but it's cool. I forget what it's called, though. But it's one of the newer 5e supplements. Although I don't really recommend 5e, outside of like Baldur's Gate 3, for very many reasons. For one, I think 2e is Pathfinder 2nd Edition. 2e. I think it's just a lot better. It kind of does the 5e. It does the simplicity of 5. I mean, it's not as simple as 5e, but it kind of does that more simplified tabletop game idea a bit better than 5e. Because it still gives you a lot of options. While, you know, still being simple. 5e's, my issue with 5e is kind of barren. I kind of like that, and I kind of don't like that. But if you're playing a tabletop RPG, I'd recommend Pathfinder 2nd Edition. Although, if you want to play 5e, there's nothing wrong with it. But Wizards of the Coast and everything, and Hasbro and everything. I was about to say, isn't there supposed to be a cutscene right there? They also changed this cutscene in a patch. It used to not have this segment. It used to just be this coming in, then you falling out the ship. That's another waifu we could have if we go for an evil route. which I'm not gonna go full evil route in this one, I don't think. Although you can get some bonuses with Lysel's affection if you go for the evil route for this first act. But I won't because I'll feel bad and I'm not doing the evil characters. But the drow pussy do be hitting. From what I hear, I haven't done it yet, like I said. I've only tried romancing Shadowheart and Karlach. And I failed the Karlach romance, so. Shadowheart I was doing romance for, I just kind of stopped playing that run. Because I wanted to do some other stuff. Interestingly, this is where you would normally run into Shadowheart after rescuing her from the Nautiloid, a little bit further ways down the beach. But we are Shadowheart.
Your head spins as you gather yourself. Fresh air and firm ground feel almost alien to you, but not as alien as the creature hiding deep inside your head. You must get rid of it.
Trust me, we both saw the thing person turn to a mind flayer. So, the artifact, you need to make sure it's secure, or offer the Dark Lady silent thanks to your survival this far, beg for her guidance. Well, we are a good old Catholic girl,
You feel
so.
nothing. But of course, Lady Shar is no crass teacher, bludgeoning you with her instructions.
Alright, Shar.
To solve this on your own. Prove yourself to her. First the parasite, then the mission. You're on the right track already.
There we go. We are now at the beach. And then we have some DLC items, just like a cape and some other stuff. Alright. And with that, I will end this episode here and pray to God that the volume isn't too bad. We'll make a new save. Save here. And I will see you guys, especially my friend, next time. I don't want to play too long because I do need to do some writing. But hopefully you guys can enjoy this. And hopefully it doesn't come out like crap. I'll see you guys next time.